I'm going to give y'all 2 in a day and get it out the way so y'all don't say I'm inconsistent, because I have been. But I had bigger things going on. My son graduated. So this is my first video on Married to Medicine, LA. I'm not going to do Atlanta because it's over with and, whatever. So Married to Medicine, LA is with the doctors and doctors' wives of Los Angeles. So I'm going to start, and if you don't know who they are, then you might have to watch the show because I'm not going to give too much detail on them. So I'm going to start with my favorite, Imani. Dr. Imani is this tall, beautiful, gorgeous, model-esque, just beautiful woman. And I think I like her because she is a New Yorker. And she has that good hard accent that we all have. And I'm sure half of y'all are like, oh my God, where is she from? Yeah, I'm from New York. And Dr. Imani is as well, and her accent is, okay, right there with it. So she's married to a guy named Phil. And I'm going to look it up real quick because I always forget. Dr. Imani's husband, Phil. His name was Phil Johnson, and he was part of the group. Hold on. He's in Oklahoma now. Hold on, Dr. Phil Music. He was part of one of them groups. Portrait, there we go. I keep saying H-Town, but he was part of the group Portrait from back in the days. Yeah, I might remember them. So they're married, and he's been in Oklahoma, and she's not being really forthcoming with what he's doing or why he's in Oklahoma and hasn't been home with her and their son, Idris. Not to be confused with Idris. She's pronounced it Idris. So, it opens up with her on the phone talking to him, and she's like, hey, how's it going? It's real generic conversation. And then she says, do you miss me? Do you want me to come out there? And he's just like, I'm working on my business. I'm trying to focus. And they ain't seen each other in 3 months. And I'm like, girl, I would love a good break from my husband too, but 3 months? I don't know. And she's putting up this front for everybody, how she's strong and she's fine with it. And we know something is wrong on the inside because you can tell in her facial expressions and how she, just when she talks about him, you see a difference in her face. So, she was saying how years ago she had gotten depressed and she had been in the bed so long and she didn't realize she hadn't eaten. And if you know Dr. Imani, she is very tall, very thin. So 10 pounds to lose being depressed is a lot for her. And then she's, just trying to keep it in. And I get why, but, that's her thing. They know what's best for them. Hopefully it works out for them. I think they've been married. Damn, I'm slipping. Let me see. How long has Imani and Phil been married? So, it doesn't say. I want to say she said 6 years, something like that. But, she was just saying she wants to be with him. She wants him to come out and visit her. And he's given a lot of pushback. So I'm sure there's something underlying going on between them that has not come to the forefront of the show yet. Then we go to Britain, and Britain, she's the mixed doctor who you would swear she's 100% white, but her mother is black, I believe, and her father is white, I believe. But Britain there's no kinky curly to her hair. Her hair is completely straight, and you wouldn't be able to tell she was from South Central. Britain is what it is. And she goes to I think it's a clay planting kind of thing with her daughter, because her daughter is 10, I believe, and she's like, oh, my kids are spoiled, and I'm the first to admit it. But my daughter's getting this attitude, and I'm trying to, I guess, rein her in, and she's trying to talk to her over an activity versus talking at her. And growing up in 2020, you can't always parent your kids how you were parented, because those times were different. you know, so from times with my grandparents to my parents, my grandmother, you knew one good look from her, you like, all right. But like nowadays, grandmas is like 40. Hello, me. But I have a stepson, so that's my excuse. But you can't parent kids the way you were parented. For the most part, I'm not going to say 100%, but for the most part, you cannot parent the same way because kids are different. There's phones, there's technology, there's just all different elements that come into that. And I like the way Brittany was talking to her daughter to get her point across. And she was saying, like, back in the days, grandma would just like pop me or whip me. And, I'm trying a different way. So I give her kudos for that. What I don't give her kudos for is her son, Imani, who is 7. And I think this boy is still in the bed with her and her husband. How you, like, I got a king size bed. I still don't see my son being in my bed all night with me. Like, you know how kids got that foot in your back and they got to touch you? Get off me. I'm trying to sleep, But move on. And then they showed Dr. Contessa, who was part of the Atlanta franchise, who was Britain's friend, and how it kind of intertwined and got them into the fold of this whole franchise from integrating Married to Medicine Atlanta to Married to Medicine LA, and how they come together to know each other. And Contessa is the glue that binds them together. And Contessa it was homecoming week for Xavier University, where they all went. And Contessa ran into her ex-boyfriend, and she compared them to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all gonna stop comparing y'all lives and y'all boyfriends and y'all husbands and y'all exes to Jay-Z and Beyonce, because none of y'all got that coin. None of y'all got that kind of J and B kind of vibe. It sounds good, I guess. I'm not a Beyonce fan. Hate me if you want. I don't care. But if y'all gonna use like celebrities to say who you are, like Contessa, you could have said, I was Mary J, he was Casey, we was all in love, and we had the ins and the outs, and at the end we was on the out. Like, use Mary and Casey. Don't be using Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, come on. Anyway, then we go to Jasmine and Imani go to this vegan gelato place. And Jasmine is the one that Imani said her house was like a drug dealer house. Now, you go up to Jasmine's house. I'm going to Google it for y'all so y'all could be like, what? Imani said Jasmine's house looks like a drug dealer house. It looked like a Scarface house. And I'm going to just give y'all the outside view of it. They say she rented. That's what they say. I don't know them, but they say that this is like a rental property for the show because you never see her husband. So this is Jasmine's house. Hold on. Let me turn this around. Oh, can I? No, I can't. So y'all can see. Can y'all see that? Let me see. Yeah, there you go. That look like a drug dealer house to me too. Because it's Jasmine. She don't have no kids, or if she do, they don't talk about it. And her husband, she don't really say what he do. It's just with her, Jasmine Johnson. She's supposed to be married to a successful psychiatrist, but we don't see him. And Jasmine don't eat. Jasmine wants everything. She wants vegetables with nothing on it, and that's fine. But Jasmine portrays this lifestyle of healthy eating where it comes across more as a eating disorder. Jasmine, I got to be a size 0. Okay, got to be. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with it. But how you come to a vegan gelato place, which is a little bit healthier than regular gelato, maybe, and you come with them little sample cups out your purse that you only want that. She had 1 dollop, that wasn't even a teaspoon, of this vegan gelato. And then she ate it and she goes, oh, that was it. That was good enough for me. And then she checks her blood sugar. Who pulls this out of their purse when you going to meet somebody? And then Imani starts talking to Jasmine about her and her husband. And I'm like, why are you talking to this girl about your man and your problems? Because y'all was just fighting last week. I mean, I get it. You're trying to extend the olive branch and trying to open up and make her feel like you like her and you care about her. But like that part, you could have left out. And then we get into Shanique and Robert. And Shanique is the little bubble bubble head, is what I'm going to say, because she just comes across as just ditzy. She said her business is, she has like a property management. She seems like a property management worker of a apartment complex. But, you know, she has to glitz and glam her lifestyle to work with the show. And she wanted to do real estate. And her husband, Lil Robert, was like, yeah, you got to prove to me. He's being a real ass about it, but he said, you got to prove to me that you really want this, because you tend to want things and then you just don't really put your all into it. Anyway, but, you know, he knows his wife, so that's what he want to do. And I guess some people always, because we all know that one person that says, I'm going to do this, 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 and then they do 4 things. They do 4.5 things to complete one piece of the puzzle, but they don't want to complete the whole puzzle because it's too much work, and then they just go head in and say, I'm going to do it, and then they back up and be like, yeah, maybe not, because it's too much work. So that's why he made her do it, and maybe that's what has happened to her in the past within their relationship. So, okay, fine. She did a presentation, and I think that was enough for him, so he's gonna, like, I guess he's going to be her backer and support her in this next venture of her life. And then we have Leah. Leah was introduced to the show all wrong. Like, first of all, I thought Leah was like a friend to the show, like how Marlo Hampton is. Marlo just come in and out as she see fit. Leah apparently is a cast member of the show. And they show Leah going to Dr. Kendra, who is a gynecologist. Dr. Kendra is the Vietnamese and black woman who's a GYN doctor, and is married to another doctor who, what is his name? Hobart. And he's an Asian guy. They have a little baby, and Leah brings her 15-year-old daughter to Dr. Kendra, and and how it came about was, and this is just ignorance or lack thereof knowledge of knowing what to do. So I'm like, okay. So Kendra was like, have you brought your daughter to the gynecologist yet? And she's like, no, my daughter's not having sex. You good and grown, and you thought that that was the only reason that you bring your child to the gynecologist when she's approaching 16 years old. Now, I'm not going to point too many fingers, because certain households just, that's how they were raised. My mother was one of them. I didn't get the sex talk. I didn't get the pregnancy talk. I didn't get none of that. I had to learn from my friends. I had to go to the class that they teach you in 10th, 11th grade to learn half of this stuff. And the other half, I just had to wing it if I really wanted to know. So I applaud Leah for taking her daughter, and, you know, and her daughter wasn't going to say anything, even though her mother left the room. You know good and well, they still going to ask, girl, what she tell you? And she can't tell you, but, you know, she's not going to tell nobody on the front of the show. So, but kudos to Leah for taking your daughter, because she got pregnant with her daughter at 18. So she's like, clearly, if I would have known more, I could have prevented more. But I think that's all I got for this show. But it was pretty good show. Nothing crazy going on. These ladies are pretty classy for the most part. They don't get in your ass too much like on Atlanta. But I think it's coming. Because Imani got but so much before she is going to attack somebody, because Imani is on the edge already. So that's all I got. Ain't got no more. I'm going to see y'all next week with a couple more videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to get notifications, hit the little bell so you can go ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. She on the line. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. She on the line. And don't forget to like my besties page.